Do you know your hair type and texture? Understanding your hair type, texture, structure, and wave patterns will save you money and stop that product graveyard from getting any bigger, or make you more money by increasing retail commissions behind the chair. Our hair is our crowning glory, an expression that refers to something most outstanding, impressive, a glorious aspect or achievement, used to describe a person's hair when they have beautiful or majestic hair. Crowning glory implies that our hair is one of the most attractive and noteworthy features, often symbolizing beauty and elegance. The phrase has its roots. Haha, roots. Yes, pun intended. But the extension of the hair that's on our head that we can see and feel is referred to as the hair shaft. Whether we're talking about hair roots or hair shaft, our hair is at the highest point of our body, and therefore the most important, in my opinion, and very deserving of the expression crowning glory. We all want our crowned glory to be bouncy, bold, beautiful, healthy, and praiseworthy. Sounds to me like the bigger the hair, the closer to God. And anytime I have the opportunity to be closer to God, you can bet I'm there. But for now, let's learn how to determine our hair type and texture, and how understanding our hair structure affects our pocketbooks. Wait, what? I know you're probably thinking, how does money and hair structure relate? Well, knowledge is power. So when you know more about your hair and what it is and how to keep its integrity by the products we use, we can get rid of all those mysterious bottles in our product graveyard. So stop buying products you don't need. Yeah, I know. Your hair looked and felt so good when your stylist used it, so you bought that smell good stuff your stylist put in your hair. But what if you are the stylist? Sharing knowledge of hair structure with your clients will not only help them maintain those beautiful locks you've just created for them, but it will also increase your retail sales and commissions when behind the chair. So, my chosen Cosmo friends, keeping our glorified crowns closer to God will save your clients tons of money and level up your retail commissions, and I'm going to tell you how. I'm excited that y'all have joined me in this lecture. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. We love engaging with our community. So please feel free to ask anything cosmetology or hair. You could place those questions in the comments below. I may not be able to respond in this video, but I will respond as I can. You can also reach out to me via email or social media, and I'll be sure to leave my contact information in the description of this video. If you don't know me, I'm Miss Beth. I'm a licensed master instructor of cosmetology and barbering, a biblical life and entrepreneur coach, a psychologist wife, and a blessed mom and grandma. With my 24 years experience in the hair industry, I've been and done all things beauty and then some. And the beauty in the struggle is definitely real. I'm passionate about educating and empowering others through faith, family, and Psy cosmetology to help shed some light on all your beauty concerns and guide you through your blessed journey as a cosmetology artist to fulfill your God-given purpose. So let's get started. Everyone's hair is different, but there are 4 factors to consider that are the same for all of us. Wait. Don't get me to lying. There are some of us that don't need to consider these factors. If you're anything like my husband and my brother, who just doesn't have hair, and, well, this video is probably not for you. But for those of us that do have hair, we're going to learn about texture, density, porosity, and elasticity. Considering these factors will help you determine your hair type so that you only buy what you need. Then you can get rid of all that product graveyard, 'cause I know you got one. Knowledge from this lecture can save you time, space, and money. Number 1, texture. Hair texture refers to the natural pattern, shape, and feel of an individual's hair strands. It is determined by the diameter, curl pattern, and overall condition of the hair. Each texture requires different care and styling approaches to maintain its health and appearance. Hair texture is the thickness or the diameter of an individual hair strand and can be classified as coarse, medium, or fine. Coarse hair that feels like wire is the strongest texture, and it is often resistant to healthy maintenance products and chemical processing solution. It usually requires more processing time when using chemical solutions such as hair lighteners, aka bleach, hair color, perms, and relaxers. Medium hair texture that feels like string is the most common texture, and medium hair does not pose any special problems or concerns. Fine hair texture is the smallest. It feels like silk, and it's the most fragile. Fine hair is easy to process, but more susceptible to damage from chemical services and hot tools, unlike medium and coarse hair. To determine your hair texture, observe your hair. Take a look at the strands. Is it fine, medium, thick in diameter? Fine hair is usually more delicate, like silk. Medium textured hair feels like thread or string, while thick, coarse hair feels more like wire. If you can't see it, give it a feel. Better yet, take your fingertips, close your eyes, roll your hair through your fingertips. What did you feel? Silk, string, or wire? Now you know your texture. That was easy, huh? Also, keep in mind that hair texture can vary along the length of your hair, and it might change due to the factors like age, hormonal balances, and treatments. Regularly observing your hair behavior and adapting to the correct hair care routine will help you maintain healthy locks. Does your hair tend to be oily, dry, or somewhere in between? Understanding its natural behavior can give you a bit more insight about your hair's texture. Number 2, density. Hair density refers to the number of hairs per square inch on the scalp. Hair density is measured by how closely packed the hair is on the scalp, and it indicates how many hairs there are on a person's head. It is described or classified as low, medium, or high. Or better yet, it's known as thin, medium, or thick. Hair density can vary significantly from person to person, and it is influenced by several factors, including genetics, age, and hormonal changes. Generally, people with higher hair density have more hairs on their scalp, while those with lower hair density have fewer hairs per square inch area of the scalp. The average hair density is about 2,200 squares per inch. Hair with high density or thick density has more hairs per square inch, and hair with low density or thin hair, or what I call as fine as frog fur split 3 ways, has fewer hairs per square inch. The average head of hair contains about 100,000 individual hair strands. Hair density can also vary with the natural color of the hair. Blondes usually have the highest density, and people with red hair tend to have the lowest density. To get an idea of the density of your hair, try running your fingers lightly and slowly through your hair right above the scalp to feel how dense it is. Did you feel that? That was easy peasy, right? Nowadays, the look of hair density could be deceiving due to artificial hair color. As light as lighter colors will make hair look less dense and dark colors will make hair look more dense. But I'll go over that in more detail when we get to the color series. Number 3, hair porosity refers to the hair's ability to absorb and retain moisture and other substances. It is determined by the condition of the hair's cuticle layer, which is the outermost layer or protective layer of the hair. The cuticle layer consists of overlapping scales similar to the scales on a snake that can either be tightly closed, low porosity, partially lifted, medium porosity, or widely open, high porosity. The degree of porosity is directly related to the condition of the cuticle layer, which again looks like the scales on a snake. Healthy hair with a compact cuticle is naturally resistant to being penetrated by moisture. Porous hair has a raised or damaged cuticle layer that easily absorbs moisture, but if it's too damaged, it will lose moisture from products and color as quickly as it was absorbed. Hair with average porosity is considered to be normal. Chemical services performed on this type of hair will usually process as expected according to the product and chemical instructions. You can check out the porosity on dry hair by taking a few strands of your hair, holding the strand securely with one hand while having your finger and thumb on the other side and like closer to your scalp, and then run your fingers from the ends to your scalp. If the hair feels smooth and the cuticle is compact, it is considered resistant. If you can feel a slight roughness, it is considered porous. If the hair feels very rough, dry with cuticle damage, it is considered highly porous and may have been overprocessed. I can explain how to correct overprocessed hair, however, that's in a different lecture, and it would be hard to wrap your mind around that without knowing and understanding hair structure. Number 4 is elasticity. Hair elasticity is the ability of the hair to stretch and return to its original length without breaking, just like elastic in our clothing. Hair elasticity is an indication of the strength of our hair. Wet hair with normal elasticity will stretch up to 50% of its original length and return to the same length without breaking, while dry hair stretches about 20% of its original length. You can check out the elasticity on wet hair by taking an individual strand, hold the wet hair securely, and try to pull it apart and break it. If the hair stretches and returns to its original length without breaking and bounces back like a new rubber band, it has normal elasticity, which is healthy. If the hair breaks easily or fails to return to its original length, it has low elasticity. And hair with low elasticity will not be able to handle any chemical texture services like decolorizers, also known as bleach, relaxers, or perms, and will in fact damage the hair even further. Also, speaking of bleach and chemicals used for perms and relaxers, we cannot, I repeat, we cannot use bleach, chemicals, and texture services at the same time. And if you're brave enough to try, you better pray to the hair gods, asking for that concoction not to burn their scalp or their hair, resulting in a trip to the ER or a chemical haircut. I've actually seen clients' hair smoke in a shampoo bowl and watched my students' eyes fill with fear. Now, I'm all about faith over fear, and with God, all things are possible. But when that happened, my mama bear took over. I rinsed the product out of the client's hair, saving her scalp, but unfortunately, we still had to give her a pixie haircut. And speaking of scalp and hair, there are 2 hair and scalp characteristics or conditions to consider: dry hair and scalp and oily hair and scalp. Our first and foremost goal is keeping healthy hair and happy clients. Happy clients with healthy hair will always tell their friends about it and how they keep it healthy. and in turn, increase your service and retail sales. Dry hair and scalp can be caused by inactive sebaceous glands that produce sebum, which is an oil-producing gland. These conditions are aggravated by excessive shampooing or by a dry climate. The lack of natural oils or sebum leaves hair that appears dull, dry, and lifeless. Dry hair and scalp should be treated with shampoo, conditioners, and products that contain moisturizers. Those with dry hair and scalp should avoid frequent shampooing along with the use of strong soaps, detergents, or products with high alcohol content because these products could aggravate existing conditions. Dry hair should not be confused with overly porous hair that has been damaged by thermal styling, chemical services, or environmental conditions. Oily hair and scalp is characterized by greasy buildup on the scalp and an oily coating on the hair. This is caused by improper shampooing or overactive sebaceous glands. Oily hair and scalp can be treated by properly washing with normalizing shampoo. I will go over these types of shampoos in another class, but for now, keeping a well-balanced diet, exercise regularly, and shampooing and good personal hygiene are essential in controlling oily hair and scalp. Now, moving along in the first part of my hair beauty series, focusing on knowing your hair type and texture, so you'll want to stay until the end so you don't miss the structure and wave patterns of the hair. And if you're catching what I'm teaching, then be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends for more great master cosmetology education to level up your beauty game. Sharing and subscribing helps the algorithm so that YouTube pushes out all this great cosmetology knowledge to others who want to learn more about how to have and maintain healthy hair. And it only costs you about 2 seconds of your time to like, subscribe, and share. The study of hair is called trichology. And although we no longer need hair for warmth and protection, hair still has an enormous impact on our psychology. Ha! Would you look at that? Trichology, psychology, both meaning the study of, and guess I'm a poet too, and I didn't even know it. Now, in a mature strand of human hair, there are 2 parts, the hair root and the hair shaft. The hair root is the part of the hair located below the scalp surface. I'll be teaching about hair growth later this month, and I'll go into more detail then. But the hair shaft is the portion of the hair that projects out of the scalp, the hair that we could see, touch, and feel. The 3 main layers of the hair shaft are the hair cuticle, the hair cortex, and the medulla. The hair cuticle, as I mentioned before, is the outermost layer of the hair. It consists of overlapping scales, kind of like a snake, that open and close with hot and cold water or chemical services. The cuticle provides protection of the inner structure of the hair. The cuticle plays a vital role in maintaining the health and appearance of the hair by helping to retain moisture and preventing damage from external factors such as heat, chemicals, and friction. When the cuticle is smooth and intact, the hair appears shiny and feels smooth to the touch. However, damage or wear and tear from brushing or pulling it up like this in a messy bun or ponytail can damage or break off the cuticle, which can lead to frizz, dryness, and breakage. Proper hair care can help preserve the integrity of the hair cuticle and promote overall health. Later in this series, I will talk more about what products should be used to maintain and style your hair when the cuticle is broken off or damaged. Next is the hair cortex. The hair cortex is the middle or the second layer of the hair shaft located in between the outer cuticle and the inner medulla. It is made up of keratin fibers that provide strength, flexibility, and shape to the hair. Everything lives there and is housed in the cortex of our hair. The cortex is responsible for determining the hair's texture, elasticity, and natural hair color. You already know how to determine your hair type and texture, so let's discuss our hair's natural color. Now, don't get too excited. Hair color is my favorite subject too. But that's a whole different series of classes. Natural hair color is the result of the pigment located in the cortex and referred to as melanin. Melanin are tiny grains of pigment in the cortex that give natural color to the hair. There's two types of melanin, Eumelanin and Pheomelanin. Eumelanin provides natural dark brown to black color to the hair and is the dark pigment that is predominant in black and brunette hair. I usually remember that Eumelanin refers to dark hair because my hair is dark. And when people refer to me, they say you, meaning me. Pheomelanin is lighter pigment that provides natural colors ranging from red to ginger to yellow, blonde, and blonde tones. I remember Pheomelanin as orange and yellow hair because due to my cool complexion, when I wear my hair orange or yellow, it looks ugly to me. Feo means ugly in Spanish. Yes, I know, I don't look like the Spanish-speaking type, but growing up in Southern California, I didn't have much choice. So when I think of the word feo, I think of ugly. And since yellow and orange don't look good on me, it's an easy way for me to remember. But that's just me. Gray hair contains only a few scattered melanin granules, and white hair does not contain any melanin at all. Next, and the last one, is hair medulla. The hair medulla is the innermost layer of the hair strand, located in the center of the hair shaft. It is composed of cells with various shapes and arrangements, and its presence and characteristics can differ depending on the hair type. The medulla is not always present in everyone's hair. Some of us have a medulla and some of us don't. It is usually present in dark brown to black hair, but only if it's medium to coarse or thick textured hair. All male beard hairs contain a medulla. When it comes to chemically changing or manually manipulating the hair by styling, and if the medulla does exist, it is never affected in salon services. Now that you know about hair structure, let's talk about wave patterns. Wave patterns refer to the natural shape or texture of an individual's hair strands. There are several types of wave patterns, such as straight, wavy, curly, and extremely curly like kinky and coily. These patterns are determined by the shape of the hair strand and the way the hair grows out of our scalp. Hair wave patterns can vary widely from person to person, and they are often used as a basis for the different hairstyles and hair care routines. The wave pattern may also vary from strand to strand on the same person's head. It's not uncommon for an individual to have different amounts of curl in different areas of the head. Individuals with curly hair often have straighter hair in the crown and tighter curl in the other areas. Straight blonde hair is round with more pheomelanin. Straight black hair is round with mostly eumelanin, and straight gray hair lacks melanin. Wavy and curly hair is oval and shaped kind of the same way. And compared to straight hair, regular hair strand is has more of an elliptical shape, or kind of more like an egg. Some extremely curly hair has a natural tendency to form coil-like areas, kind of like an old school telephone cord, and the texture of individual strands will wind around each other. This type of hair usually breaks easily and does not have good elasticity. Gentle scalp manipulations, conditioning, shampoos, and detangling rinse will help minimize tangles. Now that you understand the structure and wave patterns of hair, you don't have to worry about that product graveyard anymore, saving you tons of money, and you can level up your retail sales game behind the chair to add to your retail commissions income. If you'd like more education on healthy hair beauty, be sure to tune in every Tuesday for more great master cosmetology education to level up your beauty game. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, joining and sharing in our community here on your chosen cosmetology coach channel, where we learn it, love it, and live it. But until next time, don't forget to pray before you slay and use lots of hairspray. I love you lots, guys. Bye.